Magandang araw! Sama-sama tayong matuto sa Teacher Sal Learning Resource Channel.
Revised K-12 Curriculum Math 2 Quarter 3 Week 2 Data and Probability. What is the data collected about it? It is about the favorite dishes of grade 2 matatag learners. Who among you likes adobo? Why do you like it? How about paksiw, sinigang, or tinola? Our lesson purpose is to read and interpret data presented in a pictograph, with or without scale. What kind of pictograph is it? It is a vertical pictograph. What is the pictograph about? It is about the favorite dishes of grade 2 matatag learners. What are their favorite dishes? Their favorite dishes are adobo, paksiw, sinigang, and tinola. How many learners like adobo? There are 12 learners who like adobo. Is it not only 6 learners? No, it is 12 learners. Why? Based on the key, 1 square represents 2 learners. Since there are 6 squares for adobo, it means 12 learners like adobo. How many learners like paksiw? 8 learners like paksiw. What is the most favorite dish of the learners? The most favorite dishes are adobo and sinigang. How do you know that adobo and sinigang are the most favorite dishes? Both dishes have the longest column of symbols in the pictograph, which means the greatest number of learners chose them as their favorite. Can we say that adobo and sinigang are equally favorite dishes of the learners? Why? Yes, because both adobo and sinigang have the same length of column of symbols in the pictograph. Which dish is least liked by the learners? It is tinola. How do you know? Only 4 learners like tinola. Without counting, how will you know? Tinola has the shortest column of symbols in the pictograph. How many more learners like sinigang than paksiw? 4 more learners like sinigang than paksiw. How do you know? Possible strategies: subtract the number of learners who like paksiw, 8 from those who like sinigang, 12. 12 minus 8 equals 4. So there are 4 more learners who like sinigang than paksiw. Count the number of squares in the sinigang column that do not have matching square in the paksiw column. There are 2 unmatched squares. Since each square represents 2 learners, this means 4 more learners like sinigang. How many fewer learners like tinola than adobo? 8 fewer learners like tinola than adobo. How do you know? Subtract the number of learners who like tinola, 4, from those who like adobo, 12. 12 minus 4 equals 8. So there are 8 fewer learners who like tinola than adobo. Count the number of squares in the adobo column that do not have a matching square in the tinola column. There are 4 unmatched squares. Since each square represents 2 learners, this means 8 fewer learners like tinola than adobo. What kind of pictograph is this? It is a vertical pictograph. What is the pictograph about? It shows the favorite dishes of grade 2 matatag learners. What dishes are shown in the pictograph? The dishes are adobo, paksiw, sinigang, and tinola. How many learners like adobo? 12 learners like adobo. How do you know? There are 3 squares and each square stands for 4 learners. So 3 times 4 equals 12 learners. How many learners like sinigang? 12 learners like sinigang. How many learners like tinola? 4 learners like tinola. Which dish is the least liked? Tinola is the least liked because it has only 1 square. Which dishes have the same number of learners? Adobo and sinigang both have 3 squares. Which dish is liked by the greatest number of learners? Adobo and sinigang are the most liked dishes. What kind of pictograph is this? It is a horizontal pictograph. What is a pictograph about? It is about the favorite hobbies of grade 2 learners at Bayani Elementary School. What are the hobbies shown? The hobbies are reading, watching TV, playing games, and singing. How many learners like reading? 80 learners like reading. There are 8 smiley faces. Each smiley is equal to 10 learners. 8 times 10 equals 80. How many learners like watching TV? 50 learners like watching TV. 5 smiley faces. How many learners like playing games? 65 learners like playing games. 6 full smiley faces plus half a smiley is equal to 60 plus 5 equals 65. How many learners like singing? 100 learners like singing. 10 smiley faces. Which hobby is the most liked? Reading is the most liked hobby. Which hobby is liked the least? Watching TV is the least liked. Pictographs are visual representations of data. Thus, they should immediately provide information such as the greatest number, least number, or equal numbers without having to count each symbol or picture one by one. What is the pictograph about? Without counting which hobby is the most favorite among the learners, how do you know? Which hobby is the least favorite among the learners? How do you know? What hobbies are liked equally by the learners? How do you know? How many more learners like singing than watching TV? Explain your answer. How many fewer learners like playing games than reading? Explain your answer. What do we read if we want to know what the pictograph is about? We read the title of the pictograph. How do we know what the categories are? We look at the category labels in the pictograph. These are usually written in the first column of a horizontal pictograph or at the bottom of a vertical pictograph. How do we know what symbol or picture was used and what it stands for? We'll look at the key, which is usually found near the bottom of the chart. How can you tell which category has the greatest number without counting? It has the longest row or column of the symbols or pictures. How can you tell which category has the least number without counting? It has the shortest row or column of symbols or pictures. How can you tell which categories have an equal number without counting? They have rows or columns of symbols or pictures that are of the same length. How do we compare the data of the different categories? We look at how many more or fewer symbols or pictures each category has. Two or more categories may have rows or columns of symbols or pictures that are of the same length. The pictograph shows the number of cans or sardines collected by grade 2 learners of Magiting Elementary School, which they will donate to flood victims. The title is Number of Canned Sardines Collected. For the sections, we have Earth, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter. The key is 1 can is equal to 10 cans. Write the letter of the correct answer. Which section collected the greatest number of canned sardines? Earth, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter. The answer is D, Jupiter. How many cans of sardines did the Venus section collect? A. 12 and 1/2, B. 13, C. 125, D. 130. The answer is C. 125. How many more cans were collected by the Earth section than the Mercury section? 35, 30, 3 and 1/2, 3. A. 35. How many fewer cans were collected by the Mercury section than the Venus section? 30, 20, 3, 2. The answer is A, 30. For day 2. To solve problems involving a pictograph with a scale. Activity Sheet 1, complete the pictograph. Donna needs help presenting the information below in a horizontal pictograph. Please help her in completing it. There are 50 learners who like roses. The number of learners who like sampaguita is the same as those who like roses. There are 25 fewer learners who like gumamela than those who like roses. There are 10 more learners who like sunflowers than those who like gumamela. Horizontal pictograph. Favorite flowers of grade 2 learners at Magiting Elementary School. In the first column, we have the rose, sampaguita, gumamela, sunflower. Key, 1 smiley is equal to 5 learners. Here is the expected answer. What is the pictograph about? It is about the favorite flowers of grade 2 learners at Magiting Elementary School. What symbol is used to represent one learner in the pictograph? The symbol used is a smiley. How many learners does one smiley represent? One smiley represents 5 learners. How many smileys do we need to represent the learners who like roses? Why? We need to place 10 smileys because one smiley represents 5 learners. The 10 smileys represent the 50 learners who like roses. How many smileys do we need to represent the learners who like sampaguita? Why? We need to place 10 smileys because the same number of learners like roses and sampaguita. This means 50 learners like sampaguita. Since there are 10 smileys for roses, we must also place 10 smileys for sampaguita. How many smileys do we need to represent the learners who like gumamela? Why? We know that 25 fewer learners like gumamela than roses. 50 learners. 50 minus 25 equals 25. This means 25 learners like gumamela. To represent them, we need to place 5 smileys because if we add 5 times, we get 25. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 25. How many smileys do we need to represent the learners who like sunflowers? Why? We know that 10 more learners like sunflowers than gumamela. This means 35 learners like sunflowers. To represent them, we need to place 7 smileys because if we add 5 7 times, we get 35. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 35. Read the problem. Mang Jose harvested fruits from his farm. The number of fruits he harvested is shown in the pictograph below. Fruits harvested from Mang Jose's farm. Which fruit was harvested the most? It was mangoes. How do you know? The longest column of circles represents mangoes. Were there fruits that were equally harvested? No. How do you know? There are no columns of circles in the pictograph that have the same height or length. How many more mangoes were harvested than papayas? There were 40 more mangoes harvested than papayas. How do you know? Subtract the number of papayas 50 from the number of mangoes 90. 90 minus 50 equals 40. Count the number of circles in the column for mangoes that do not have a matching circle in the column for papayas. There are 4 unmatched circles. Since one circle represents 10 fruits, 4 circles mean 40 fruits. How many more santol should have been harvested to make its number equal to the number of pomelos? Why? There were 70 pomelos harvested and only 60 santol harvested. 70 minus 60 equals 10, so 10 more santol are needed to match the pomelos. How do we solve problems involving a pictograph with a scale? Determine what each symbol in the pictograph represents by looking at the key. One symbol might represent 2 objects. Count the number of symbols used for each category in the pictograph. Determine the total for each category by multiplying the number of symbols by the value each symbol represents. You can also use skip counting or repeated addition. Use the calculated totals to compare categories or answer specific questions about the data. How can you tell which category has the greatest number without counting? It has the longest row or column of symbols or pictures. It has the shortest row or column of symbols or pictures. How can you tell which categories have an equal number without counting? They have the same length of row or column of symbols or pictures. How do we compare the data of the different categories? We look at how many more or fewer symbols or pictures each category has in its row or column. 2 or more categories may have the same length of row or column of symbols or pictures, which means they have an equal number. The pictograph shows the number of sardines sold in a store. On which day were the fewest sardines sold? How many sardines were sold on that day? Blank cans. On which days were the same number of sardines sold? How many sardines were sold on each of those days? How many more sardines were sold on Thursday than on Monday? Show how you got your answer. Here are the expected answers. For day 3, number and algebra. To determine the number of objects in a group by repeated addition. What do you see on the chart? We see groups of popsicle sticks. How many groups of popsicle sticks are there? There are 3 groups of popsicle sticks. How many popsicle sticks do you see in each group? There are 2 popsicle sticks in each group. What can you say about the number of popsicles sticks in each group? The number of popsicle sticks in each group is the same or equal. There are 3 groups with equal number of popsicle sticks. Since we have 2, 2, and 2, we can add the 3 2's to get the total. The number expression 2 plus 2 plus 2 is another way of expressing the total number of objects in the set. This is called repeated addition. Repeated addition is the process of adding the same number repeatedly or multiple times. We can use repeated addition to determine the total number of popsicle sticks. Repeated addition is the process of adding the same number repeatedly or multiple times. Can we still use repeated addition to get the total number of popsicle sticks in this set? How? We first need to check if each group has the same number of popsicle sticks. Since each group has an equal number of popsicle sticks, which is one popsicle stick, we can use repeated addition to find the total number of popsicle sticks. After we check your answers, the board will look like this. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 6. 3 plus 3 equals 6. We see groups of popsicle sticks. Why did we get the same sum? We got the same sum because we are referring to the same set of objects, just grouped in different ways. The objects were still divided into equal groups, so the total did not change. How do you determine the number of objects in a group using repeated addition? First, we look at how many objects are in each group. If each group has the same number of objects, we can add that number repeatedly, once for each group to find the total. Looking at the strip of paper with bottle cups, how can we use repeated addition to find the total number of bottle cups? First, check if each group has the same number of bottle cups. Each group has 3 bottle cups. There are 4 groups, so we add 3 4 times. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. The board should look like this. Use repeated addition to find the total number of objects in each set. Write your answer in the blank. Number 1 has been done for you. The answer is 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. For number 2, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. Number 3, 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 24. Number 4, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. Number 5, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 50. For day 4, to create equal groups using language such as 5 groups of 3 and 5 trees. How are the bottle cups grouped? They are grouped into trees. How many groups of 3 bottle cups are there? There are 4 groups of 3 bottle cups. There are 4 groups of 3 or 4 trees mean 4 equal groups of 3. 4 groups of 3 or 4 trees, 4 groups of 3. Work with a seatmate. Think of other ways to group the bottle cups equally. Use a piece of paper to show your groupings. After working, draw and explain your grouping on the board. Here are possible answers. 2 groups of 6 or 2 sixes. 3 groups of 4 or 3 fours. 6 groups of 2 or 6 twos. 12 groups of 1 or 12 ones. Identify how the objects in each set are grouped. For number 1, 2 groups of 4 or 2 fours. 4 groups of 7 or 4 sevens. 6 groups of 4 or 6 fours. How do we create equal groups given a set of objects? To create equal groups, we place the same number of objects in each group. Draw the given number of groups of objects inside the rectangle. Make sure each group has the same number of objects. 2 groups of 5 stars, 3 groups of 3 triangles, 4 groups of 6 squares, 7 groups of 3 sticks, 8 groups of 4 circles. Here are the correct answers.